Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Bobcats Coaches Show here live from Crossroads Social House in Wytheville alongside head coach Wojtek Zemlika and Friday night's game-winning goal scorer, Filip Hlavac. Filip, how are you? Welcome to the program.
Good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, good to have you on here, Phil. We've been trying to get this done for a while, and glad we were finally able to rattle you, rope you into to coming on the program. It was not without a list of demands. I'm kidding. But we're glad Phil's here, and we're glad Zemi's here, and we're glad that 5,200 fans packed the barn over the weekend. That's a new franchise record for one weekend and a new single-game crowd record. Zemi, 2,888 there Saturday night. Of course, you guys would have liked a different result Saturday, but, I felt like overall a strong weekend against a group that, of course, you guys are familiar with and you're going to see again this weekend.
Yeah, first of all, the support from our fans that's awesome. The building was electric, so kudos to them, and we're very thankful for that. As far as the weekend goes, I think we kept the momentum from last week and going the Friday night game, and it showed. Then obviously, like you said, on Saturday, I just thought we got a little complacent. We didn't play a bad hockey game, but got a little complacent. Didn't stick with what the plan was. And Carolina is at the end of the day a very good hockey team. And if you give them a little bit more time, more opportunities on the power plays, they'll find a way to score a goal.
Yeah, and there was a few things that happened in that first period after you guys went up 2-0. Of course, Stuckless takes the elbow. Carson has to fight, but it seemed like that gave both teams a lot of momentum. But as you said, special teams ended up being the difference there. 2 power play goals ended up being the difference in a 1-goal game.
Well, the big difference between Friday and then Saturday was obviously a little bit of the discipline. We were only one time down on the penalty kill on Friday. And Carolina had, we had like 5 power plays, and then kind of it switched going to Saturday, and that will make a difference in the game at the end of the day. But, like you said it, we started well. We went up 2-0. I think we hit 2 posts in the first period as well. Before that elbow on Stuxy, and sometimes there's missed calls, and I'm glad to see that our guys stick up for each other, and Carson got the best of him, and we went on the 4-minute penalty kill, and it wasn't necessary. There was a low breakdown there. We got 1 goal scored on. I still told the guys in between the periods, I said, well, that's something we can live with. You guys sticked up for each other. That's an important part of the game. But after that penalty kill, I felt like we didn't have the same jump like we had at the start of the game, and the energy on the bench wasn't the same. And we saw it through the second period. We still created scoring opportunities. It was up and down hockey game, but it wasn't same as in the past. We wasn't that. The pace of the game, the puck movement, the puck management, a little bit more aggressiveness without the puck. It wasn't the same, and then eventually it resulted in going the third period. We got another goal scored on. Now obviously showed a greater resilience. Dustin scoring a goal there in the middle of the third period, and then we're trying to get back in the game. Unfortunately, it didn't happen.
Yeah, Dustin is glad you brought that up. 8 goals now in 6 games with the club. So the offensive boost that he's been able to bring you guys has been huge. But talk about Zach Ross getting his first pro goal there to go up 2-0. That's huge for him. And as we said, it's he's not really a huge offensive guy, but he made a great move out there, and there was a lot of traffic in front. And as we always say, good things happen when you throw the puck towards the net.
Yeah, Zach's been steady Eddie since he started playing for us. He was the piece we were looking for there, and I think our whole decor did a really good job on Friday. Saturday for the most part as well. We were able to put up 62 shots Friday night. I think it's the most shot we had in the single game this season, and a lot of it was involving our D in the play. and getting up to them, and our D being as shooters, not looking to be fancy. That obviously makes the no matter how good the goalie is, it will make his job difficult. We carried that to a Saturday start of the game, and Zach got on the blue line. Good reception there with the puck and good traffic in front of the net, and just simply putting the puck on the net and end up in the back of their net. It's a first goal for him this season, so I think it's a big momentum for him in this game.
Yeah, Phil, talk about the impact that you guys were able to make defensively throughout the weekend, and this is a Twin City team that's not easy to contain offensively, but I think you guys have done a really good job of that over the course of the 7 previous meetings. And you look at that third period on Friday, not only do you score the game winner, but you guys held Twin City shotless for the first, I think, 11 and a half minutes of that third period. Their first shot of that third period didn't come until about 11 and a half minutes off the clock in that third period. So, the way that you guys were able to shut things down, and at that point, what was a tie game, after Danny's able to tie it up there in the beginning of the third period, then you're able to get the game winner and then kind of just lock things down from there. So walk us through, what things were like in that third period trying to close that out.
Well, I don't think it's just the work of the decor. I think it's all 5 guys on the ice. We are working on it lately because that's what winning us the game, as we can see.
What Filip's trying to say is we worked on playing with the lead.
Well, we didn't lead first.
Yeah,
so
once
we got the lead, then it's like what we were talking about, what we were trying to achieve here, play with the lead, and that means don't let opponents score. Shoot, not score, never score.
And you guys, again, limited a big stretch there going shotless, and 62 shots on goals. I mean, from the offensive perspective, is not only the most this season, but that's the second most in a single game in franchise history. Trivia question time. Can you guess the most?
No.
71 last year in April against Danville was the franchise record. So 9 short of that, but still a huge number on the shot counter. But Filip, take us through what was going through your head on that game-winning goal Friday night. It's a move that we've seen you make a few times over the course of your time here, of course, almost identical to the game winner you had against Port Huron.
Well, I'm surprised always that somebody lets me go there as a D, because I think I'm the slowest guy on the ice. So, yeah, it's always pretty surprising that they let me go there and then shot. I think it was very lucky. I bet that Boris is very pissed that he let me go there. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and now I said this on the broadcast, Emmy, from as hilarious as that sounds, I mean, it's spot on. From the other side of it, their goaltender did everything he could, and I saw him come back to the bench there when they made the pull to go 6-on-5, and he slammed his stick down because he knows that's the one that got away from him.
Yeah, if you put that many shots in a game on the goalie, he'll get complacent. He'll get tired just getting up and down, So I think, a little bit of the fatigue there. But, I think that's something, what we've seen from Filip doing a few times. And I think that's something we need to do more as a team. Just get on the horse and get around the D, use your feet, and be a little bit more physical around the net. Dip your inside shoulder and then try to get across the crease or on the inside of the defenseman, because you never know what can happen. Goal like this can happen. D-man may trip you. The goalie may try to poke the puck and goes in your shin pads and then back in the net. That's a tough skill to have, to be cutting the crease, and it's very physical. So it's something I think we need to continue doing more, but it's great to see that our D doing it. We had Zach Ross doing the same thing on the Friday night. The puck didn't end up in the back of our net, but we talked about it and we preached it that that's something we need to add a little bit more in our game. Somebody who's been really successful at that was Devin Sanders last season. He scored a lot of goals off of it. We saw Brandon Reller scoring a lot of goals that way too.
We've seen Bresco do it a couple times as well.
We saw Milan doing it, and now we just gotta find a way to do it on a consistent basis to have it if we're in those situations.
Yeah, Filip, I think a big key to that as well is, and that play specifically was, You talked about the skating ability there through the neutral zone, the deception you were able to show. You kind of got the defenseman that was there kind of on his heels, and that really allowed you to get around him and get to the net, right?
Probably.
I mean, but that's what you talk about all the time with that move, Zemi, is kind of that deception at the start of it when you're able to kind of get that defenseman on his heels, make him start guessing a little bit. Like you said, at the very least, you're able to maybe draw a tripping penalty or some sort of obstruction call at the very least, and you get a power play out of it. If not, go right to the net and score.
Yeah, the interesting thing is that if you have a defenseman attacking a defenseman, usually we're able to beat them just because you're understanding kind of what the defenseman's going to do in that situation. And, part of our pre-scout, it is talking about, are they D holding the blue line? Are they gapping up? Are they surfing across the ice? And, D, like Carolina players who likes to hold the blue line, that automatically force them to slow down and tighten the gap a little bit. And if our, forward or the puck carrier can keep the momentum and the speed, he should be able to beat him and he should be able to get around him. But again, it's, we talk about it a lot. It's not just getting in a straight line. There's got to be some deception. You got to understand if he's on the inside or outside of the dots to be able to pull that move. But again, I've been very happy to see that we have that in our game now.
Yeah, and you said it right there, talking about forcing that defenseman directionally, something, Filip, that I think you did really well in that play was if you're able to see how he kind of had the puck on the backhand, the deception that he showed made that Carolina defender kind of draw further towards the inside of the ice. He moves to the outside, weaves around, and that's what allows him to get to the front of the net.
Yeah, you kind of say you throw him a bait. You show him where you want him to. You put him in the position where you want him to be, so you can get around him. Yeah,
and it was a great move and at a key time in the game as well, and a power play goal that tied things up there from Danny, and a goal, Zemi, that in this day and age of hockey we don't see that often. We don't see a guy wind up and just let a slap shot go from the high slot, but Danny's an old school player and it worked.
Yeah, it was power play stepped up big time on Friday. They scored 2 goals, and that was at the start of the third period. We started the period on the power play. I think the same unit's been there for the whole 2 minutes. They've been able to create a possession and make the Carolina penalty kill a little tired in complacement. And at the end of the day, I told the guys it is that's a hard thing to do, is not to get excited for just a simple play when you're tired, and understand that they're tired and you got to wait for the right opportunity. And they had a great movement there. And then Danny, he's been working on his one-timers all last week. Every day I've seen him after the practice, before the practice, to take his shots. And, haven't seen him shooting this much in the games. And I think he just that confidence from repeatedly doing it again, put him in that situation where he believed in himself and that shot. And he's got one hell of a shot.
That he does, and we've seen it multiple times. I mean, now he's well over 100 goals in his FPHL career, and as we know, he can score them in a variety of ways, and that just kind of adds to the toolbox. But Phil, of course, you were out there on that power play unit to start that third period, and as we said, you guys created a host of chances before Danny was able to convert. So, what were the conversations like, knowing you're going to start that third period on the man advantage, and the importance of being able to get off to a fast start, get control, get the zone, and get set up and just start firing at will?
Well, I'm not on his power play, so I wasn't talking directly to him, but we know what we're supposed to do in power play, and it doesn't matter if you're on the lead or if you need to score. We always have to score on the power play. That's what will win us the games. That's what we are successful in now, and I believe that it's one of the reasons we are winning the games.
Yeah, and then Filip's a huge part of the power plays, as we've talked about all season long. Almost had one Saturday. It was one of those 2 posts in the first period that Filip hit. So talk about what it's like to have a guy like him on the back end, that's kind of able to quarterback things as well as he is.
Filip been very steady this season for us. We've seen, last year, the impact he made as a rookie coming in this league. This is his second year, and you see the progress of he's playing a mature hockey, and he's consistent at it. No matter it's defensively or it's offensively, I think he's playing a little bit more offensively than he has done in last season, and it's paying off. Me and him have a lot of conversations about his shot. I think he's got one of the best shots in the league as a defenseman, and it's a quick release. And he scored, I believe, 7 goals this season.
Yep.
Most of those goals, or 5 of those goals, were on the power play. 2 of those goals were just like he scored the other day. But he used to play a forward before he became a defenseman, so he's got that offensive mindset. But his skating ability is at work. I know he mentioned that he's not the fastest skater. He's an efficient skater. Agree to disagree. He's good on his edges, and that allows him to have a little bit of the deception on that blue line as well. But not just that. He's playing a big role in the locker room. You don't usually have a lot of young players, the rookies standing up and trying to talk to the team. And this year we had Filip, being a little bit more vocal in the locker room, and I think that's great to see when the younger guys are taking a little bit more of the a leadership role on them and leading on the ice by example, but also trying to mention things in the locker room to the whole team. Because if you have the same guys talking, like I said before, myself or the captains, it is important, but if somebody else from the pack can step up at the times, I think it has a big value to the team as well.
Yeah, at times, I think you're right. I think that the word, not that this is spot on maybe, but things can kind of get stale at a certain point when you hear the same voices over and over and over again. And when you have a young guy like Phil step up and be able to speak on things, it does make a huge difference.
Yeah, I think you said it, bro.
Phil, talk about just the growth that you've had here in your second year with the club, and just professionally, personally, what things have been like for you over the last couple of years.
Well, it's my second year in the States, and I think it was just a matter of time getting used to the different style of hockey, mostly, get my confidence, because I was struggling with that last year when I came here. Got some injuries, and that destroyed me, I think, last season, and it's hard to get back from those. And this year I was starting fresh. I didn't have any serious injuries, so I can play I hope I'll keep going like that. And I think now I finally play my game.
Yeah, just it's something that Zemi's talked about a lot over the years is the ladder that you kind of feel like you have to climb when you're figuring out the differences, I should say, between the North American game and the European game. So, as easily as you can, walk us through, what that transition was like coming over from Europe and getting adjusted to the North American game.
It's way more simple style of hockey here. You have a smaller ice, so it's faster, and it's way more physical. Guys are thinking less about the game. That goes with being more simple, and the game is more simple. But it's more physical. So that was the main difference for me. I wasn't used to getting hit after every time I have the puck on my stick, and the must to move my feet every time I have the puck on my stick.
And Zemi, it's something that we're going to see a lot in about a month's time when the Winter Olympics come around. Is you're going to kind of see it in reverse. You're going to see a lot of North American guys playing for Team USA and for Canada that'll go over there and play on the European ice in the Winter Olympics, and it could kind of be that adjustment period in reverse. So I think it's an interesting thing to bring up, especially this time of year when so many people are going to be tuned into the sport in general, is the little differences and nuances of the differences between the North American and the European style of game.
Yeah, I think I truly believe that coming from North America and going to Europe is a little bit easier transition than going from Europe to North America. And what Filip meant by saying it's more simple hockey style of the game is that in Europe it's more like a soccer almost. It's all about possession. You don't really dump and chase with the puck. You will cut back, you'll bring it back in your D zone, and you're always trying to come up as a unit together. So it's all about the possession there. While here, we always talk about, live to fight for another day. Then hold on to the puck too long. Let's win the zones. Let's put it deep and let's go to work, right? And the game is played at a faster pace, obviously because of that, and because the smaller size of the arena. But with that being said, too, you have a less time and space, to think the game. So again, what Filip mentioned is that his intensity of his feet's got to be way better playing North America than in Europe because of you don't have that much time and that space. I think those are the biggest difference. And now with that physicality, in here you're learning in North America how to possess the puck more, while in Europe you're learning how to play the game more physical. They want more physicality in there. So it's kind of, people trying to bring what works in Europe to North America, and people in Europe wants to learn what works, vice versa.
Yeah, Philip, a good thing that he brought up, and something that I've noticed, with you and Dennis and a lot of the younger defensemen, is that puck composure and the ability that you guys have now to trust your instincts with the puck, to not overthink things, really, to keep it simple, to live to fight for another day. It's something I think that you and Dennis specifically have really adjusted well to, is the ability to make sure that you guys trust your instincts and are able to make the right move with the right puck at the right time.
I guess you're right. I hope you're right. I don't know what to say on this.
Am I wrong on that?
No, you're not. Composure for a defenseman is huge, and we've seen both of him and Dennis. I think they've been both of them playing some good hockey, but a lot of it is sometimes having too much composure can hurt you, right? Because by the time you make one move, you're kind of closing the gap on those guys back checking, the back pressure coming at you. So, it's one of those, so you make a move, you move the puck, right? But at the same time, to have that confidence to make a move, that's very rare. Now, not everybody's, and being that, risk and reward player, like if you're a guy who can pull it off 10 out of 10 times, do it. If you're a guy who needs to chip the puck or put it off the glass, do that. That's the execution where they gotta understand what's in their toolbox, and that's their style of the game, right? If we're a guy who doesn't who turns the puck a little bit too much at a time, so obviously any turnover can end up in the back of your net, right? So kind of understand the player you are and understand what's in your toolbox, and then you have to be that more of a reward than a risk kind of a player.
So we'll move it into kind of the middle portion of the program here, Phil. We'll dive a little bit into your playing background, and so tell us what things were like growing up in Czech and coming over here to North America, and how much you've enjoyed things here in Blue Ridge so far.
Well, I was playing my whole life in one team, which is the difference between here and there, until I was kind of thrown off to the 4th, 5th, 6th line, and I had to make a move. And my friend Andre came to me and said that he might have an opportunity for me to go try to the States to get some spark back, and guess it worked. So not really interesting. I was really playing my whole childhood. I started playing since I was 5. The whole childhood, all teenage years in the same team, in my hometown. Very sweet and simple.
And yeah, so talk about, we've got that part of the journey, but how much have you enjoyed things here, not just in North America, but enjoy being here in Wytheville and in Roar County?
I mean, when I first came here, it was tough for me, but as time goes, I'm getting more comfortable. It was a big step for me. I'm a guy from big city, and I wasn't familiar with this culture and life. So
yeah, but I mean, you've certainly adjusted pretty well, and as all our fans know, you're a terrific guy off the ice. So
what do you mean by terrific?
You're a terrifically nice guy off the ice.
Okay, yeah.
Despite what Ryan Van Dyke might say,
Ryan is a good guy. Ryan is always having something
Notice he had to
friendly
bite his
say.
lip when he said that, by the way. Ryan's a great guy. Yeah, you two bicker like an old married couple. It's hilarious. But we'll get into that later on. But let's dive into our rapid fire questions. This is the part where Zemi just kind of sits back and listens and gets to learn more about you guys. We're going to fire off some superlative type questions about you and your teammates.
Mm-hmm.
You have been chosen as an answer for some of these questions. You may be prepared for some of them because I try and ask some of the same ones most of the time. So who's the funniest guy on the team? Number one.
Danny.
Danny. Yeah, solid answer. I've heard that one before. Yeah. He's got some zany, zingy one-liners. Biggest eater on the team.
Robin.
Every time. Every time. I pity the hamburger that shows up in front of Robin Erickson because it will not last long.
That guy eats everything. He goes on the table.
We've heard the stories.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So if you had to pick one movie to watch for every road trip the rest of the season, what is your number one all-time movie?
Iron Man. I don't know.
Iron Man. Okay. Yeah, we can live with that. Okay. It's a solid choice.
No. Let's change it. Wolf of Wall Street.
Okay.
That's that one.
We might have to tell those under 21 on the bus to cover their ears because that's a...
We don't have any.
That is true. We don't. I didn't think about that. Anyways, younger audiences listening, don't watch that movie. It's very, very, very unfriendly language. Wink, wink. Question 4. If you were stuck with any player on the roster in a zombie apocalypse, who would it be?
I'm probably Danny now. I would say Vero, but he's not here, so...
Usually Danny's
anymore.
the answer
So
given
Danny. Let's do Danny.
the amount of weaponry that he's consumed over the course of time. Him or Bacon one are usually the picks for that one. But so our final question. If you had to pick any player on the roster to take on Vecna 1v1 from Stranger Things, the villain.
Okay.
Have you ever watched Stranger Things?
Not really.
Okay, we might have to alter this question. I'm going to have to rethink this
Can come up with something original.
on the fly. I don't have anything. I'm not an original guy.
It's your opportunity now.
This is my opportunity. Ooh, I got a good one now. Who is the best and worst roommate on the road?
Well, I'm always on the room with Clino, and I would say the worst for me is everyone who's not the European because we are not used to AC, and all the North Americans like to sleep with 62 or whatever temperature on the...
62?
Like if it's under 70, I have a hard time doing it. I'm getting sick. Does the worst type of roommate? I guess you're that type as well.
Okay.
From a reaction.
But no one specific that we're naming here.
Okay, so I'll say you are the worst roommate, and the best roommate would be probably somebody quiet, like Clino. Yeah.
When did I ever turn it down to 62?
That was just like yeah.
I don't remember this at all. I'm trying to think back.
I don't know. I've never been on a room with you, but
whoever is unfortunate enough to room with me from now on. Usually it's the other Filip that's unfortunate enough to be stuck with me. But so going forward, we will not be on the same room list.
I'll put you guys together.
I guess I'm sick for next roadie.
I can't go, coach. I have to room with Brett. Okay. Anyways, enough fiddle farting around. Now that I've been thrown completely on top of, underneath, and then run over by the bus. Let's move on to more hockey-related things. Same opponent this weekend. The good news is we'll almost be done with the season series after this weekend. We have two or three more, I think, after this weekend. But a home and home this weekend, a down and back. We go down there on Saturday, at home here on Friday. Reminder, get your corn heads tattoos, shirts, apparel, whatever. Get your $2 off your tickets and dollar corn dogs all night long. I'll tell you what, and you know as well as I do, it is really a shame Ryle Purdy is off somewhere in the Marine Corps and not here to enjoy $1 corn dog night, because we might be sold out before the start of the game if he was here.
Probably.
He would just devour them all. You think Robin's bad? Wait until you meet Ryle Purdy, who you have met. But anyways, should be a fun night, Friday night, another a very competitive weekend for you guys against a team that, of course, you guys know well. They were able to make a roster change, bringing in a defenseman, which you guys were as well. So we'll touch on that before we get into the rest of the weekend. First of all, we want to wish Daniel Klinecki, our guy Klino, want to wish him the best. Send all our love and support and our thoughts and our prayers to him and his family, and hoping everything goes smoothly, and hope that he's able to return to us in a timely manner. But objective number one is the health and safety of him and his family, right?
Correct. I spoke to Klino today, and he made it home safe, and been able to spend the time with his family. So obviously that's huge for his family to be there during these hard times, and family comes first. There's no doubt, and we would love to Klino have back, but we're understanding that's how it's supposed to be. That's where he needs to go, that's where he needs to be, and if hopefully things get better, then he'll return and then come back to us for the playoff.
Yeah, Phil, you guys and you and Daniel are pretty close, so I'm sure you guys are in contact pretty often. And as we said, all our thoughts are with him. And just is there anything you want to say to him in case he's tuned in here?
I don't think he's tuned. I can assure you he's not. He has more important things to do.
He does. That's right.
It's around midnight now there, so
that's true. It's what, 5.5 hour difference, I believe?
6 hours.
6 hours, okay. So, yeah, he's probably asleep, but oh well. We love you, Klino. We're thinking of you, thinking about you and your family. But Zemi, let's talk about Timothy St. Pierre, the new addition to the fold here, a very offensive-minded defenseman and somebody that's going to bring a lot of good things to the table.
Yeah, we've seen some tape on Tim. I've seen and I've played against and coached against his older brother, who's been one of the really good defensemen in the SPHL. They have a similar mindset. His younger brother is a little bit more offensively minded, kind of like Klino, but he's a rookie. He's 21 years old, so he played over in France this year. Ended up coming back home because he didn't play enough games and being far away from obviously family or North America. So coming back, play some senior hockey in Canada, was very competitive, and came across my desk, and then in this situation where Klino had to travel home, that spot opened up for us, and decided to bring him in. He actually played with Benjamin Perron in juniors, who's been here. So we got some inside information on him as far as his personality and the playing style and everything. So yeah, we're excited for him to get here. He should be. He's flying in tomorrow, so we're excited to have him.
Yeah, a guy that, as we said, comes with a high pedigree background, of course, from that second tier of juniors in Quebec, and was playing France too, which is widely regarded as a pretty decent league in Europe.
Yeah, they had very good numbers in juniors. Obviously, the transition from juniors to pro can be tricky at times. He played a little bit of the pro in Europe, but we just talked about the differences between playing the European style of the game and never played really a pro in North America. So it's going to be an adjustment for him, that's for sure. But this the conversations we had between each other, I think he's ready to make that step and make an impact on our decor.
Yeah, Phil, a guy that, as we said, can bring a lot to the fold, and somebody that I think you're excited to welcome into the locker room, right?
Yeah.
That was a simple question and an even simpler answer.
Yeah.
So
I need more guys on the decor now. When we lost Klino, want to rest as well on the bench as other guys. I don't want to be on the ice for the whole game.
So I don't even know if I should pose this next question, but it just popped into my head.
Do it.
Who's your favorite, not named Clino? If you have to pick a favorite on the D-Corps.
Like,
To play with, to be around, etc.
I can't pick one. They're all so good.
Now that's the right answer.
Yeah.
That's the right answer. That's the right answer. That was a test, and you passed with flying colors. Look at it. You already coached him up to even know the answer to that question. Way to go. But as we said, the D-Corps is going to be important this weekend, and as it was last weekend. So, what have the conversations been like in the studies and practice and things like that to make sure that you guys are taking care of everything that needs to be taken care of?
Well, it's the same every weekend, I would say, in a matter of importance. And I think it doesn't matter which team we're playing, because I believe that not just D-Corps, even like the offensive force is very good this year. And I believe that only way to lose the games is just if we do it to ourselves, but like that we're doing it our own unnecessary mistakes. And for this team, I think they are not showing a lot this year, and we just gotta take care of some individuals there, and every single one of them has some different signature stuff they are doing, and that's what we're gotta remind to each other, and pay attention on it, take care of that.
Yeah, it's something that you guys do have to be aware of as a group is a lot of those individual type, more skill-based players. When you have a Ford, a White, a Kramer out there that, for a lot of teams it can be tough to defend. But, for you guys, how are you able to kind of zero in and make sure that the hatches are battened down around the net?
Well, I think we lost the Saturday's game because we're not doing it what we were supposed to do there against these guys. But yeah, we just don't look at the puck, look at their bodies, because we are stronger. And make them tired so they give up.
Yeah, it's something we've seen you guys do very well at times is be able to wear out those skill guys, specifically that top line, which they've actually split up now. I think they've kind of moved things around a little bit, but that we know the names they have, we know the type of players they have, but as we always talk about, it's not about that. You're not necessarily focused on the who and the what. It's what's in the moment, right?
Brad, we got 4 games left against the Twin City this season. We're tied right now. The games we won was when we played the full 60-minute games, and we played as a team. You felt it from the bench. Everybody was pulling their weight. They do have some outstanding players on the team, and I don't expect them to come out any other way. But in the full lineup this weekend, they're missing James Farmer on the back end, Peshtuka up front, and Salah played only 1 game. So I expect them to come out in the full lineup against us. But again, I think what Filip just said does makes a lot of sense. That if you play hard, because they do have a lot of skilled forwards, if you play hard from the start of the game, eventually it shows in the third period. The efforts from us and the way we've played on the Friday night, that's putting that amount of the shots, having that back check we had, not allowing them to have a great scoring opportunities, limit them to the outside. Our force being able to strip the pucks as they're back checking so we can go back up the ice, and just simplicity. That's the right way to play against them. Yes, do we have to be aware of the guys like Ford, Kramer, White, Salak? Absolutely, but yet again, we've played these guys so many times where, we should know the moves they make, right? We need to understand who we play against and who you are on the ice against, right? Like, you break it down to the smallest detail, but when you're on the ice against Ford, he's most likely gonna try to beat you one-on-one every time, right? If you force him to shoot, that is a success for us. He's got a very good hands, and he can get by in one-on-one situations. But kind of understanding, like I said, know who you up to against, and that's how you defend those players.
Yeah, and, another important note, talked about them being down. James Farmer still no Troy Harwell in Friday's game as well, as he got a one-game suspension for the elbow there on Stuckless. So, even more important with knowing that they're going to be shorthanded to get in on the forecheck that we talk about so often and make sure you get their defensemen tired and running around.
Yeah, it all starts with the forecheck, that physicality, the energy, obviously back check. It's all built off of having a good forecheck. I think we could have done a little better job at it this past weekend, both of the games. But I'm sure going in this upcoming weekend, the correct adjustments will be made, and then we'll be ready to to play full 60 from a get-go, our style of the game.
We'll kind of wrap it up here, Philip. I want to get your thoughts on this, as we do talk about this a lot on the program, especially when we play Twin City. But talk about, from a player perspective, how awesome it is to not only have the fan support that you guys had this past weekend, but when we go down there Saturday night, I'm sure a lot of folks are still planning on making the trip. How awesome it is to come out of your locker room and see all those fans in what's generally an unfriendly, unfamiliar barn.
It's great to feel some support. Yeah, we're not expecting anything, but it's very nice, and it definitely helps us.
It does, and we've seen it, we've heard it at times in Winston-Salem. There's been instances where, the barn is pretty much quiet. The only thing you can hear is Bobcats fans, and I think that's the goal for you guys Saturday is to get to the point where the only thing you can hear is your fans cheering in that arena.
Absolutely, that's the goal, right? Our fans get loud, no matter if it's our barn or in Winston-Salem, and we absolutely loved it, and I know the guys feed off of it.
So, Phil, I forgot this question last week. I don't know how, but 3 keys to victory this weekend.
Consistency, hunger, communication.
Yeah, solid. I like it. Demi?
Cohesion, commitment, competition.
The 3 pillars. There you go. Keep it simple. Let's get it done. We'll be with you Friday night. Remember, get that corn apparel out for your $2 off your ticket. Or if you bring a can of corn or corn of any kind to donate to a local food bank, you'll get $2 off your ticket then as well. We'll have a corn cob eating contest at the first intermission. No, Robin Erickson will not be participating. He will be busy. Well, I don't know. It might be worth a shot. I don't know. No, he'll be busy. Plus, I'm not sure what that would do to his body for the remainder of the game if he tried to down for it. Kendra, what's the format again for the corn cob?
They have to, whoever eats 3 corn on the cobs the quickest.
Okay, so if I recall correctly, the format is 3 contestants, 3 ears of corn per contestant. Whoever downs those 3 the fastest is the winner and will likely suffer moderate stomach trouble the next morning. Got it. Okay. It'll be worth it. Plus, there's dollar corn dogs, so you can throw that into the equation as well. So come on out, be corny with us. That's the whole point. So come on out, we'll have tattoos for the kids, stickers. Oh yes, and we'll have a corn-themed photo booth as well. We have a cornucopia of things. What was this motion, Jimmy? What was rally towels? Yes, rally towels. 300 of them from Tommy Hundley State Farm. So if you missed those the last time Tommy gave them out, come on back and grab those. What was that, Phil?
Nothing.
Okay, I thought you said something. Thought you had a snide remark again. Ryan is probably at home yelling at his TV, saying obscene things about you. So
He texted me before we started.
Oh, no.
How do I look? Yeah.
You look fine.
It's not appropriate what he said.
It's a family program, Van Dyke. Come on.
Behave, Ryan.
You heard the man. Anyways, So we got that going on Friday night. Doors open at 6:15, 6:30. Puck drop at 7:30, and then of course we'll be in Winston-Salem on Saturday. It's their NASCAR night, by the way, in Winston-Salem. I don't know if Phil, you're a racing guy, so
Yeah,
I'm
a Formula One guy though, not a NASCAR guy.
Yeah, he yells at me all the time because he's like, "How can you watch people go left?" And I'm like, "They go right 6 times a year."
Yeah, for like 6 hours straight.
Well, you went to Martinsville last year, didn't you?
Yeah,
How was that?
good.
It was good.
Yeah.
Well, you'll be pleased to know that there's going to be NASCAR Cup Series drivers in attendance at the game on Saturday. I think the 2 that are confirmed so far are Ty Dillon and Cole Custer. Mid. But they'll still be there. They are guaranteed to finish 25th or less if you try and beat them out of the parking lot. Sorry! That was out loud. Whoops. I had to fire a shot, okay? Jeez. Anyways, so we'll be on the air at 5:50 on Saturday for a 6:05 start at Winston-Salem. And hopefully we can beat the snow down there and back because apparently there's some kind of giant snowmageddon coming our way this weekend. So be prepared for that. Philip and Ryan will be throwing snowballs at each other outside the rink come Monday morning. It may be violent. We'll keep you posted. For Filip Hlavac and head coach Wojtek Semlika, I'm Brett Wise, and we'll see you Friday night.